Why is a content creator leaving Instagram? I'll tell you why. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that I've been saying I'm going to leave Instagram, which is the last of my Meta platforms remaining, at the end of this year, which gives me basically about 30 more days to tell you exactly why this is going to happen and what I'm going to be doing thereafter. And I'm going to do it one step at a time. So first, just for kind of a proof of concept, I already left Facebook in about 2017. And despite what people say that you need it and that you will like not be able to do X, Y, and Z thing without it, I have not only proven that that's not true, but I didn't become a content creator until after I left Facebook, and I literally don't need it. I also have created organizing strategies, and I'm on other platforms and have been doing literally everything that one can do on Facebook elsewhere because the internet doesn't belong to Facebook and you don't actually need it. You just have to get a little creative and maybe do a little bit of legwork. And it might be a little more complicated at first, but then once you have the new systems and the new strategies and new platform set, then you're good to go forever and you're not being surveilled, which I'll talk about next. Now, the platform I'm talking about leaving is Instagram because I've already left Facebook, but Meta is one of the most dangerous, if not the most dangerous social media company because we know that they work with the government. Any administration, they do not care. And of course, they wanted the new administration that's coming in to come in because it's going to regulate them even less. They're going to be able to be even more unhinged about the ways that they surveil and track us and all of that. And the reason that I stayed on Instagram as opposed to Facebook, even though they're both owned by Meta, is because Instagram, the app itself, does not have the same infrastructure as Facebook, by which I mean you can't tag people the same way. It is not connecting everybody to each other the way that Facebook does. Facebook is the best tool for surveillance that has ever been devised, and we opt into it. Right? Law enforcement's job is so easy because they can just go on our public facing Facebooks or your public facing Facebooks and go, okay, who's in this picture? This person, this person, this person. And then they know your whole team. They know everyone. They know your whole family. They know everything about you. And they do that all the time. And do you think they're not going to do that more and worse under the incoming administration? Y'all, what's coming our way is really intense. And I think a lot of us haven't really quite dialed our brains into just how bad it could be. Right? There are those of us who think that all administrations are the same, all presidents are the same, and to an extent you're correct, but forgetting the fact that we talk about how liberalism always leads to fascism, and in my opinion, we have reached that endpoint. Right? We talk about end stage capitalism. What is end stage capitalism but fascism? Right? Fascism is liberalism, is capitalism in decline. It's when they give up all the pretense of things that they're giving to us to just bring down the hammer and remind us that they own us. That capitalism itself is really about just farming the humans that live under the capitalist flag. So while I'm not on Facebook, I am still on Instagram, and that is a big money driver for Meta because of the ads and stuff. Even though they don't have the same granular surveillance and even like personality and mood type collection that Facebook has, it still is connected to the whole thing and is giving them money, it's giving them notoriety, and it's keeping people on their platforms. And I don't want to be a part of that, and I don't need to be. Whether you believe the incoming administration is a new kind of threat or the metastasizing of an existing threat, or, I mean, if you think that it's no threat at all, sorry, like you're just wrong. But like whatever is going to happen, even if it's just a continuation, and I don't think it will be just a continuation, but an escalation, it's going to be aided and abetted by existing platforms. That means your Twitters, that means your Facebooks, that means your Instagrams, because those are just easy, handy dandy opt-in surveillance tools for the state. And I hope I'm wrong, but I do believe that they're going to start going after some kinds of content creators, not necessarily because we have done anything wrong, but because we are informing the people. We are creating the counter narratives. We are the reason that people stopped going to the nightly news as much, and they hate that. And they're going to want a more controlled narratives about what they're doing because it's going to get worse. So that means that they're going to try and make examples out of people who are doing the opposite. They said that they're going to go after the enemy within. Why would you not believe people when you got to believe people when they tell you what they're going to do? because if there's anything that can be said about Trump and his incoming administration, there's a bunch of things that he said he was going to do that he just exactly did. And people were like, no, he'll never do that. And then he did. And then we just got used to it. I'm trying to get ahead of it. And I'm actually cautioning and warning other content creators that this is a possibility. But there are other platforms that are not the feds, right? There's Mastodon. Yes, Mastodon is a little more difficult to like navigate because it doesn't have the same algorithm or any algorithm, but the algorithm is the trap. That's how they get you. That's how they make you think it's indispensable, right? It takes more work to work with a platform that doesn't have an algorithm, but then you're only getting what you want and you are not a product anymore. And that is the biggest reason to get off of meta platforms. You are the product. If it's free, you're the product. And in this case, they're selling your information to the highest bidder. And when the new administration comes in, that's the highest bidder, especially if you're up to something that they don't like. So that's reason number one. Over the next month, I'm going to be telling you more about why I'm leaving and where I'm going to be going and how you can make the switch yourself, because I think it's a great idea. It's not only something that we should do, but it's something that we have needed to do for some time because social media belongs to us. The internet belongs to us. It has just been captured by a few of these mega corporations, and those mega corporations are antagonistic to our very existence. So, if we want to do better, we got to start doing better. If we want change, we have to change. Also, follow me everywhere else that you can find on my Linktree, because I will be staying on most of the places that I am on, and I'll be slowly whittling them down based on which ones I think are actually good for the people, or at least good enough. And that's going to be a discussion that we can continue to have together over the next month before 2025 begins.